Hey guys, how are we doing? It's Martin Cliffe here. Welcome to another video. And a couple of weeks ago I talked about doing a kind of studio tour and looking at how I've made this space as kind of productive as possible. So it was slightly awkward rig with my iPhone in hand, just on a microphone boom arm, because I couldn't find my handheld tripod. But I'm gonna just switch across to that and kind of show you how I use this space, what kind of things I've done to make it as productive as possible, and therefore as kind of remove as many distractions as possible, so that basically I can kind of get on with the work that I do, without too many issues when I'm particularly in a creative mind, which doesn't happen all too often at this time of year. Filming this in the middle of October, and yeah, mood is starting to fall a little bit, but I wanted to get this done. I thought it's a good a time as any to do so. So yeah, let's switch across to the other camera. I'll try and keep it as steady as possible. My iPhone is being a bit awkward at the moment. It's not charging terribly well, but hopefully it'll be fine for the duration of this video. So this is the space as we walk into it, and not a lot has changed since the apartment kind of tour that I did a few weeks ago. So this is my main kind of desk area, and if I move my chair, if you have an Aeron chair, these Atlas headrests are excellent. They match really well, really good quality. They're not cheap, but they're worth it, and the service I got from the company was really good. Not sponsored or anything, but yeah. So this is kind of my main workspace. At the moment, all I've got up is the universal control for the PreSonus Fire Studio Mobile, I think they are. Yeah. So they're under the desk there. You can see the camera. Hey. I'm recording the audio on that camera, that's why it's all kind of a little bit pointless being on, and also, yeah, that's kind of there for all my talking headshots in my videos. Usually you see this pretty plain wall behind. It kind of works as a backdrop for quite a lot of things. You see my King Korg. It's currently got a urban brass sound. A few things I don't like about the King Korg. I mean, the key action isn't great, and it always defaults back to the first patch. There's no kind of memory for that. Also, haven't figured out how to map it so that the sustain pedal gets passed through on MIDI, which should be really easy to do, but it doesn't seem to be. I've got two 25-inch, I think, Dell monitors, at 1440p, just mounted on a post. My Adam A5X monitors, which I see they've recently discontinued, which is a bit of a shame, because they're great speakers. And then on here we have a pair of headphones on this arm, and my Rode NT1000 microphone, which is my main kind of vocal mic. If we look just at the universal control window for a moment, there are effectively 10 inputs on each of the two units, but one of them is the SPDIF, which is required to pass the signal from the other one. So really what I've got is, if we come in close, mics 1 and 2 are on the guitar cab, so the mic preamps on the units I'm using for my 4 mics on my 2 guitar amps, which I'll show you in a minute. And then I've got a 4-channel RME quad mic 2, which feeds channels 3, 4, 5 and 6. So 4 is the NT1000, you can see a little bit of signal maybe going onto it. 3 is the Beta 57 that's on the keyboard stand. 5 is bass and 6 is acoustic guitar. And 7 and 8 is this keyboard and stereo. As a 9 and 10 is the SPDIF feed from the bottom inputs, which are the other 2 mics on the cab. So The top two are the Sennheiser E906s, and the bottom two are the Shure Beta 56As. That combination just seems to work. Then 3 and 4 is the Chrome EX, which I'll come to in a minute. 5 and 6 is currently, I've got the direct outs from the amps going to it. Not sure whether I'll keep that if I need them for any other source, but it's useful for when I want to play really, really quietly, because you don't have to have the speakers on to use those. Doesn't sound amazing, but it's okay. And then 7 and 8 is the drum kit. It's a sit-stand desk. It's just an IKEA one. It's a slide and some picks and stuff. Still using my Microsoft ergonomic keyboard. So we come down below. It's probably a bit hard to see here. You can see the RME mic preamp there, and just kind of touch around the side. Under the computer are the two audio interfaces. So there are 2 mic and 6 line in. There's my sub, fairly recent acquisition, really liking that. Sustain pedal, this is just a kind of grounding mat. I like to stay grounded. And then my guitar pedal board, which is in a bit of a state of flux at the moment. That's actually fed from this other pedal board here, the Ditto X2. The cables go under the little drum platform and to the effects loops of the 2 guitar amps, but the rest of the signal goes currently through the Katz & Koenig, through the Rufus Reloaded, the Rufus, the Stone Grey, and then into the tuner. It's not ideal. I'm looking to reduce that down, but haven't got there yet. And it works for what I'm doing just at the moment, particularly for recording. Over here is the bass and acoustic pedal board. So of these 2 dangling cables you see, this one is for guitar, electric guitar, this one is for bass or acoustic. And that just goes into the tuner, and then it's split to the Grace Designs Alex acoustic preamp here, and then through the bass pedal board, compressor, envelope filter, overdrive, chorus, delay, and then to the Sansamp Tech 21, which is a great little unit. And that's just, the signal just goes from that via the RME quad mic into the audio interface. And then we can see the Chrome EX 73, which is my main keyboard. Currently using organ sound. Not the best organ sound, but it's something that fitted the particular track that I wanted to use at the time the other day. I have an iPad mini holder on here and my microphone, and that's backed up really closely on this Thomann drum riser, which is designed to absorb the sound of like vibrations from electric drums and stuff. To the electric drum kit, which is a fairly recent acquisition, much needed in this place. You might see I've had to actually put the drum rack, the front bar, the other way around so I can get it close in, just so there's plenty of room to do what I want to do. The drum kit's turned itself off, but it's DTX 8, I think. They're the TCS heads, which are quieter than the mesh ones, and have a really nice feel to them. Apologise for the noise outside. Let me just close that door a second. So I don't keep my basses in here currently, they're in the bedroom, but my 2 main guitars are on the rack there. So it's all red and blue. I don't really play anything else, so I get whichever bass I want to use from the bedroom. The reason they're in the bedroom, it's the easiest one to keep humidified appropriately. Really like the drum kit. Not using the hardware it came with, because I had better hardware, so really good. I think the 900 series hi-hat stand, Flying Dragon pedal, 900 series snare stand, and proper hex rack drum rack. And then we see the guitar rig. So this one is an Artist 10AE Anniversary Edition Black Star. This one is actually an Artisan 10AE, just I swapped over the chassis because I wanted both the black ones to be together. It's a kind of stereo rig. It'll be more stereo when my second Mad Professor Deep Blue Delay arrives, which will be in about 4 days as I'm filming this, so it should be well and truly on the pedal board. I have it, it's in the UK, and my brother-in-law is bringing it over with him when he comes to visit next week. The two 12 cabs underneath are not plugged in. They're just there partly to raise the amps up, and at some point I may use them, but also they just look cool. Although I'd hoped that the grill cloth would match better. First world problems. I've got a couple of attenuators on the top because the amps sound better run hot, but that's then too loud. So at the moment I'm running it on 5, which is minus 15 dB. Usually when I'm recording I'll turn it down to the 25%, which is 12 dB reduction. It does sound better on 12, but it's loud, so it depends. It's louder obviously, so it depends on what kind of context. In the back there's a whole mesh of cables and other stuff going on because I've got direct out, I've got effects loops, there's the speaker in and out of the attenuators, and the power. I've got a little firming unit in the back of the speaker cab down there, which is for the power, and a humidifier, some blackout curtains. So this drum riser is pretty cool because it has room for all the cables and stuff to go underneath it. So that helps to make the place really, really a lot more productive, and just in the sense of I don't have cables lying around everywhere. I've got the absolute bare minimum of cables. Stuff just tucks down the back. And then in the wardrobes on this side, I just have my PA subs. Eva's birthday present. It will be her birthday before this goes, so that's fine. And some boxes with cables in. Nothing very exciting. And then a wardrobe has a few clothes in that you will have seen. Well, the stuff on the left you'll have seen in my wardrobe tour. The ones on the right are a few of Eva's, just because we've got guests coming next week, so we've moved some stuff from the spare bedroom. Tripod and camera, the other EOS 90, and then these drawers have basically all of the essential stuff for running a studio, so guitar strings, cables, spare bits and bobs, straps, you name it, it's in one of those boxes most likely. There's also a mic stand and a couple of other bits and bobs there. So that's it. It all works very well. It all works very efficiently. Basically, all I need to do when I want to record something is I have a preset set up. So I record in Cakewalk, and I have a template set up called Studio Take, which already has all of the inputs and outputs preset. So yeah, the Chrome is set to input 3 on the bottom, King Korg is set to input 7 on the top, and the stereo inputs, and so on. So everything is set ready to go. All I literally need to do when I want to record something, because this is a template, set my tempo and my time signature or whatever, arm the relevant channel that I want to record, and click record. So it can be super quick, which is really handy. So one of the challenges in working when you have a certain amount of challenges with mental health is that it can often take a while to get into a state where you really want to work. So anything that can reduce that friction is a really good thing. So for me, having everything pretty much ready, maybe I need to turn on the guitar amps, but the cables are already all there. And then I just choose the channels I want. I click record. It literally, can take 15 to 30 seconds before I'm ready to go. I don't have to deal with pulling stuff out of drawers, plugging stuff in, finding power supplies, any of that sort of stuff. Everything that I use, other than, as I say, my basses, which are just in the next room, is here and ready to go. And it really does make an enormous difference for me, because when I'm feeling creative, I can be creative. And then in the downtime, I'm not surrounded by clutter and junk in the way and all that kind of stuff. I'm ready to go. So it just works. I hope you find that interesting. If you've got any questions, please do shout. If you've got anything you'd like me to cover in more detail, I'd be happy to do so. Otherwise, take care. Subscribe, like, and I'll see you soon.